clothes, madman. You understand? Good.
All Faces ENT Records.
Mad.
No.
Yeah, what's there?
Don't. Me chout now joke, me killers a rock psycho bunny for your clothes. I'm Mary full up the wardrobe and no $50,000 when me want smoke. Dub plate price higher than coke, run flat pine road, start car with button pull gate with code. She a tip on toe, one fuck to a rat bat song I never sold. The place dark when me grow but pendant shine, watch diamonds glow. Too much rifle for afraid of foe. Too much lyrics for can't find flow. DJ, some boy made slow, but chop and no credit, pam bang a phone. When you see bad man a roll, still a rent car, still in a your grandmother house.
Clean clothes, bad man, clock chips so we roll. Kingston a where me born, Brooklyn a where me grow. The place dark where me from, badness a where we know. Choppy line daily every day, man I get it all. Diamonds them a glow, Big Ben's touchy road. High grade man a smoke, Mary pan the tea, Christian Dior. You know the code, the rifle them enough, when afraid and a foe. They should know.
The place dark when me grow but pendant shine, watch diamonds glow. Too much rifle for afraid of foe. Too much lyrics for can't find flow. Some boy made slow, but chop and no credit, pam bang a phone. When you see bad man a roll, still a rent car, still in your grandmother.
Pull up in the G63, clock 4-3, tuck under the white tee. Pocket full of green, all faces are green. Sport button get pressed by turbo screen right now.
Dub plate price higher than coke, run flat pine road, start car with button pull gate with code. Shirt tip on toe, one to the rat bat song I never sold. The place dark when me grow but pendant shine, watch diamonds glow. Too much rifle for afraid of foe. Too much lyrics for can't find flow. Some boy made slow, but chop and no credit, pam bang a phone. When you see bad man a roll, still a rent car, still in your grandmother house.
Mad, laugh off of them. And they should die. One fats, one dark boss. Yeah, you see me say. Mad. Yeah, shines. All faces we say. Yeah.
All right, fellas, what's going on? I can't get my camera working.
It's all right. You can still rock with it.
I don't understand. So this was the first time in history we made a flyer, promoted it, have show topics, have an actual sponsor for tonight, everything that we should have been doing a year ago, which we didn't do, I did this time, and guess what? The camera doesn't work.
Was that Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Before we go to introducing you guys, if you're dating a woman and she says, if you're in a fist fight, I'm jumping in. What do you do with that woman, Teddy? Then we're going to go to you, Anil.
Marry her.
Wow,
she's ready to throw down for you. She's ready. That's a keeper right there.
All right. Anil, what says you?
Not much, boss. Really, I mean, why put yourself in a situation in the first place?
Oh, Jesus fucking
I'm a
Christ.
I'm a classy man. We don't deal with that.
Yeah,
foolishness and street ruffian thing that.
Yeah,
that's where the thing there.
Yeah.
So if your woman want to get dirty and grimy and all this and that, she's not really ladylike anyway.
Jesus.
That's male behavior pattern, and I want a female, not a man. Right?
So you trying to tell me if you're at the hot dog stand, right? Let me turn on.
You think I go to a hot dog stand? Come on, man.
I mean, give me something here.
We're not freaking the hot dog stand.
Give me something here. Give me.
If I run up at legal seafood,
I don't go to legal seafood. I'd rather be at a hot dog stand than legal seafood.
Oh wait, you're in New York, right?
No, if I go down to Boston, I'm gonna go Cambridge, right? And I go over Kendall Square and I go hit up Legal Seafood, right?
Right.
I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna really enjoy my fish or whatever, scrod, whatever you have, mahi mahi, what they have on the menu,
Okay.
and just
Okay.
eat my stuff, have a little wine, and go home. Why it's got to be fisticuff? Why do I have to be around violence in that manner?
No, but what happens if someone tries to jump you and they're throwing down on you? Three guys onto one. You don't
What would
want
I
no
do?
one to help you.
What? That's why we have the police department. Right?
Anil, all we're asking is if you're with somewhere with your woman and an altercation breaks out, which can happen. A lot of all the altercations that I've been in, I didn't start them. So there's times you're in
Right.
altercations and you don't start altercations. All we're asking, just simple before we start the show, we're 6 minutes in. If your woman says that she has your back and she would jump into a fist fight with you, Anil, what would you do with that woman? Are you going to marry her or are you going to break up with her? That's it. That's all we want.
I would have to send her on her merry way, really, because that's our female behavior.
Okay. All right. Since we have here, since we want to talk about perfect female behavior before we even get into the show, Anil, another question. This is a bonus round question for you.
Bonus round.
How do you feel about what's that dude from the basketball player, Klay Thompson? They're claiming that his, I don't know, what's her name? Elkie the Stallion, whatever the woman's name that he's dating with, wants
Megan Thee Stallion.
Meg the Stallion wants $700,000 a month. Do we care about that?
Let him go lay in the bed that he created with his. It's messy, man.
Jesus Christ, we're not going to go anywhere with this fucking guy, Anil. All right. Welcome to the show. We're going to start with Teddy. Go ahead and explain who you are.
I am Ted Panagiotis, aka Dr. TKO. I've been promoting dancehall events since 2007, I believe, and some of the longest running nights in New England history with Club X, Fire Fridays at Karma, La 401, and most recently Island Saturdays, which had started in 2013 and still going strong today. Providence, Rhode Island.
Thank you so much. And Anil, your camera's mute. Anil, explain who you are so we can start the show.
Photographer, Pikachu Music Journal. Been in the industry since '98, taking pictures. Started off in Boston, moved to New York. I've been to Jamaica, European. 2026 was the beginning of the Goa Sunsplash for me, 10-year anniversary. And looking forward to many other occasions, Sumfest, Montego Bay. The list is endless. Germany. I've been all over the world with this thing, and I'm really grateful to have my man there, Mr. Bobby Shakes.
Oh, geez, thank you.
In tandem. Like I said, we were pioneers in the website dancehall age with the development of BostonReggae.com. Then I, just turned it on its head, and it's all upwards climbing. Always positive, always staying up, always being a step ahead of the competition.
All right, Anil.
Best way to do it, really.
All right. Let's get the show rolling. It's been 9 minutes in. All right. Last week, I got killed on the internet because this is the first time ever I've ever promoted this show. This is the first time I've ever promoted this show. And so far, we have 14,000 views on the YouTube, which is the most the show's ever gone because that's the first time we've ever promoted the show. And I got killed. I got called an idiot. I got called I need to take my medication when I said the following. I said Kartel has never had the biggest song on the rhythm in his whole career. That doesn't say that Kartel is bad or good. It's just that he's never had the biggest song on the rhythm. He turned it around this year. This is the first time in Kartel's career he had the biggest song on the rhythm with SYM. Okay? He's getting $1 million plus a show. Okay? He's selling out venue after venue after venue. He was locked up for 13 years inside of a prison and single-handedly kept dancehall afloat. Now we have Beenie Man, a legend. Probably won a couple of Grammys, been in a couple of movies. Has always been the showstopper, that gal damn sugar. I'm gonna ask you two pundits. We're gonna go with Teddy first. I laid out my case. I've laid out my case. This is a clip. Teddy, who is the king of dancehall? Is it Beenie or Kartel? Full screen, go.
In my personal opinion, which obviously can change from person to person, I truly believe that currently right now that Vybz Kartel is the king of dancehall. And I don't even think it's close. And I'll tell you why. So listen, Beenie Man's a legend, of course, you know, but you had King Yellow Man originally was the first king. And then Beenie Man got crowned. Now, he was crowned at Sumfest just like Kartel. So just like in any other, in a regular monarchy, a king doesn't last forever. And what I look at it right now is I say, okay, if Beenie Man drops a rum, how many people are going to be running to buy Beenie Man rum? If Beenie drops a sneaker, how many people are going to be running to pay $280 for a pair of Beenie Man sneakers? You know, that's just not going to happen. So to me, right now, all things considered, and right now too, if Kartel drops, like Kartel dropped a new song today, it's wicked. God is the Greatest is a wicked song. I mean, what song can you recall that Beenie Man has dropped in the past, you know, few years that's wicked, that people have to play in the dance hall, you know? And that's not taking anything. Please don't think that's taking anything away from Beenie Man. Beenie Man's, you know, a legend. He's got 1 million hits. He's a wicked artist. But then also you think about this. Who's the queen of dancehall? The queen of dancehall right now, generally considered, is Spice. Okay, who busted Spice? And that's gonna be Vybz Kartel, the Rompin' Shop. That's where she really took off. So, you know, how can she be the queen and him not the king? That's how I look at it. And in historically speaking, maybe like the whole mainstream, you know, because Beanie has like a lot of mainstream hits. But even back in the day, I thought it was debatable if he was the king of dancehall. And the reason being is not because of his talent or lack of hits. I look at someone as a king like, okay, who has he put on? Who has he busted? You know what I mean? Where like Kartel, if Kartel comes out right now and says a selector is his favorite selector, that selector, even if he's not good, is gonna get booked everywhere. It's gonna be like the biggest thing. You know, and I don't think Beanie's ever had that ability. Back in the day, the person that I would say probably was better than Beanie is my boy, Hangry Cross Miserable, Bounty Killer. If you look at how many people he busted and how many big dancehall artists think that Bounty is number one, you'll see it a lot more than Beenie Man. But Beenie Man's great. They're all great. But right now, unequivocally, I'm going to do a nice shot of Fever to celebrate. My opinion is that Vybz Kartel is the king of dancehall currently.
Anil, let me address it to you. Who is the king of dancehall? And let's remember, Vybz Kartel got braces, not because his teeth were crooked, because he thought they were cool, and everybody in Jamaica ran to the dentist to get braces. Let me say that again.
And tattoos.
Bleaching, tattoos. I mean, bleaching and tattoos, that's easy. But imagine,
that was even before Vybz did it.
Hold on a second here. We're going to give you a chance. We'll give you a chance on the blue screen. Okay. Who's the king of dancehall? He got people in Jamaica to wear braces because he thought braces were cool. He reinvented bleaching. He's selling out stadiums. He has a thing called Vybz Kartel Island.
Not
Beenie
to be
Man.
confused with Epstein Island.
The Beenie
Please don't confuse it. Yeah.
Come on. Don't be a fucking dick. Come on, guy. We're trying to make
Rhode Island.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, Rhode Island's not an island, right? You gotta correct Ricky Feelings on that as well. It's not. It's named of the last name of the family that owned the property.
Anil, I think you have a problem with staying on track. The question for
King
you
of the Dancehall would have to be
Jesus Christ.
Why is it only in our music? Why is it only black people that have these debates? How come white people don't have these debates? Like, hey, Elvis Presley is the king of rock and roll, right?
They might have him though. I don't know. I don't hang with them anyway.
You don't see anyone try to replace Elvis as the king of rock, right? You don't see anyone try to replace Michael Jackson as the king of pop, right? You don't see anybody try to replace Aretha as the king of soul, right?
Right.
So why is it when it comes to our music, we have to do this tomfoolery rubbishness when it comes to King? Beenie Man gave me gave me a major buzz at Bobby Shakes that you know, when I was doing BostonReggae.com. He invited me down to Jamaica, and I toured you know, the studio, and I met so many artists under his wing. Personal hospitality goes a long way. Beenie Man, at the age of 10, released a solo album, right? Vybz Kartel is 50 plus years of age. How is he the new king at the age of 50? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Really. How many top 40 artists are going to Jamaica to record with Vybz Kartel? Yeah, he busts a lot of artists, and he helped produce a lot of artists. But which top 40 acts are going to Jamaica to go and voice with Vybz Kartel? Hands down, until he passes or perishes, Beenie Man will remain the king of dancehall. I don't think it's up for debate. I really don't.
All right, that's your full screen.
But wait, then technically speaking, Yellow Man still should be the king.
You got to rebut that, Teddy.
No, it was called King Yellow Man. He was never called King of Dancehall.
No, they called him King of Dancehall too, for sure. When he won the first Grammys around, they called him King of Dancehall.
Why not Rexton Fernando Gordon? Why won't we be calling him the King of Dancehall? Because he really did something that no one else could with all the Grammy Awards. Shabba Ranks made dancehall a household name. Look at In Living Color, Mr. Ugly Man.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, Shabba's. I mean, I can't say nothing bad. I mean, legendary. All those guys. Like I said, I didn't mean that as a slight to Beenie Man. I just, you know, but they're all wicked. They're all wicked.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's have an educated conversation, right? Because we're supposed to be three talking minds. We're supposed to be three amazing pundits when it comes to reggae. I don't know how to use my camera, so maybe I don't know anything about reggae. But when we talk about the king of the dancehall, let's have a real discussion. Teddy, you're going to full screen.
Yep.
Everybody's still alive, right? Everybody's still alive.
Yep.
Okay. So the crown hasn't been passed yet. There has to be a death before the crown is placed in monarchs. Out of everyone, Teddy. Oh, wait a second. That's Anil. Oh, geez. Terrible producer today. The show's falling apart. Out of the history of dancehall, who's the king of it?
I mean, if you're looking at it in that respect, for me, I still, it's got to be Yellow Man because he's the original. You know what I mean? Like, and whether they didn't do anything special like they did at Sumfest in 2008 or 2009 with Beanie with the crown and all that nonsense. They didn't do that, and I think they did with Cartel last year at Sumfest with the crown and the robe. But I mean, generally, Yellow Man put dancehall on the international map. There's artists that probably were better than Yellow Man at the time. Not to say that Yellow Man's not wicked, because he's wicked, but like I think he put it on more of an international map back in the day, to where everyone kind of had a taste of dancehall. You can go back to like talk about U-Roy and U-Brown and Big Youth too, but really I think Yellow Man put it at that level that kind of had a little more international appeal.
All right, Anil, let me paint the stage here.
Okay.
Out of everyone in the history of dancehall, like I said to Teddy, all the kings are still alive. To you, who is the king of dancehall?
Hands down, it's gotta be Benny still, because hey, he might still continue to be the king of dancehall, because doesn't Vybz have this incurable rare disease?
Graves isn't deadly though. He'll be that's not a big deal. I think you can control that. 'Cause I know some people that have it.
Okay.
Who's the king of dancehall, Neil? You go on these
Hands
tangents.
down is Beanie. Hands down. There's no question. There's no
Out
question.
of everyone.
I mean, I rate Vybz Kartel. But hands down, it's got to be Beenie Man. It's really a no-brainer. I don't know why it's up for debate.
But my question is, would there be a Beenie Man had there not been a Yellow Man?
Probably not.
So let me ask this.
No. When did Yellow Man bust? Because Beenie Man started at age of 10. So
I
when
think
did
Yellow Man was like
Man become
1978, 1980, in that range around there. Because when
He
I
was in
saw him,
his
I was a
20s
kid
at
and
the
he was
time, right?
huge. Like I remember I seen him and Ika Mouse on a show. Like it was crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah,
I was a little kid.
he was in his
10 years
20s,
old.
right?
What's that?
Yeah, he was in his 20s, right? So nobody came as early as he was, like almost like Michael Jackson, like a Jackson 5, right? Beenie Man, child artist who became something amazing as he grew older.
Yeah,
So
like I have no beef with Beanie Man. Like he's a cool
yeah,
dude. Wicked, he bought
absolutely.
food for my restaurant. I got no beef with Beanie, but we just differ on the opinion of King. But I think he's a wicked artist, like great artist.
Right.
And wicked, and he's actually a really good stage performer as well.
Much better than Vybz, absolutely.
Yeah, he's
No
a
doubt.
wicked stage performer.
Yeah.
How come you guys have not mentioned Ninja Man in all of this?
Because I think Ninja Man was more of a performer. Like he was a great live performer. But if you look back at how many recorded like massive hits, you know what I mean? Like he only had like a handful of recorded massive hits, in my opinion. But he was a great Clash, like Sting, like poor Supercat's one of my all-time favorites, man.
He would bring
he hurt him
numbers.
bad that year at Sting,
Oh yeah, absolutely. He would bring numbers, yes. But as far as longevity, not so much, because he did it to himself. His in prison, out of prison. If you're gonna be a king, you got to live up to king standards, really.
Wicked artist, though.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
All right, let's move on here. Vybz Kartel gets the Caribbean Act and the MOBO for 2026.
Yeah, that's not a Grammy award, is it?
Let's go to Anil.
Right.
How do you feel about Kartel winning the best Caribbean act at the MOBO?
MOBO Awards, that's UK. What do they know about dancehall? I think I mean he deserves all these accolades. I don't get it twisted. Absolutely, I'm really proud of him. But the one accolade that he did not receive is the Grammy Award, and Beenie Man has received the Grammy Award. So that's the highest accolade you can receive as a musician, as an artist in the recording industry, right?
Right. That's a
He
huge
lost
accolade.
to who? Kesnamdi.
Who's wicked, though?
Yeah,
I must say.
I think if Vybz was to capture the Grammy Award, hands down, it'd have been without a question that he would definitely be my favorite as king of dancehall. Without the Grammy, nah, he doesn't deserve the title.
Okay, so what I'm saying here, Neil, is Vybz Kartel, he hasn't won a Grammy. He's won the MOBO Award, which you don't think is that big of a deal because it's not a Grammy. So you're not impressed at all with Kartel winning this award for 2026.
Well, the only thing is though is I
All right,
don't.
hold on a second, Teddy. Let me come to you full screen because I mean I can't get nothing out of it, Neil. Teddy, let me ask you, how do you feel about Kartel winning Caribbean Act at the 2026 MOBO Awards? How do you feel about that?
I mean, all right. So I think he deserves whatever award he can get. I'm glad he got it. I prefer he would have got the Grammy. But here's the thing: how much stock can we put in reggae Grammy winners? If you look back and think about it, honestly, Kartel should have won last year, and they gave it to the Bob Marley soundtrack. And the Bob Marley soundtrack, those songs on there have already won previous Grammys. And then previous to that, if you look, I mean, they gave it one year to Damian Marley, not what's the name? The other Marley, Ziggy. I think it was, and I listened to the rap. It was awful. It was awful. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know how much stock you could put into it. Like Soulja won it one year. Like I don't know. Unless they had a separate category for dancehall in the Grammys, I don't know how much the Grammys hold weight because they don't really recognize dancehall on a regular basis. Because there's been a lot of dancehall artists that have been nominated and they give it to some random record that I never even heard before. And then I have to go look at it and listen to it on my own and be like, why did this win?
Hold on a second. Hold on, Anil. You're not allowed to talk till I tell you can talk because I'm the producer. We're trying to do this professionally. All right. Anil.
Ted.
Yeah. What is your retort back to that? Where Dr.
I don't think
TKO is.
it's
Hold
a
on a
debate.
second. You gotta wait. Anil, you gotta wait. We're trying to run a professional show here, guy.
Understood. All right, let's go.
All right. Dr. TKO says that he doesn't put too much faith into the Grammys. So he's saying your artist won a Grammy, but it doesn't mean anything because a lot of artists that didn't deserve to win a Grammy has won one. How do you respond to that?
I just feel that the proof is in the pudding. The Grammy is the highest honor a recording artist can receive, hands down. When it comes time to do bookings, their stock rises because they have won this award versus those who haven't. They can demand more money. They could play places that they never even heard about playing, like Nebraska or middle of the country. You think Vybz Kartel can sell out in Nebraska or Iowa or even Wisconsin? But because Beenie Man has a Grammy Award, he can go and tour and go to these places and perform.
You know what, Anil? I'm not gonna lie to you. That is the best argument I've ever heard somebody say that Beanie should be the king of dancehall because he won a Grammy. That is the best argument, Teddy. And
no, it's more than just the Grammy. It's just like his catalog. He doesn't do dastardly things. He's not a hooligan. He doesn't live a life of crime. He doesn't get himself locked up in Jamaica. Beenie Man lives, straight and narrow. I mean, of course, his visa's been revoked on a few occasions. But
a lot of those, I feel bad though. A lot of those times, including Beanie, a lot of the artists, from what I understand, is that it gets revoked because they didn't report like their full earnings or something because they didn't want to pay all the taxes and stuff like that. So a lot of times it gets revoked for not even like, he didn't really do anything bad to, like massive to get it revoked.
Well, tax evasion is pretty bad, right?
Right, but I'm saying like he didn't physically harm somebody or like physically rob somebody. In other words, you know what I mean? Like that's what I meant.
Unlike, but that's neither here nor there, right?
All right, we gotta move on because it looks like we can't come close here, guys.
If you want to be a king, live like a king. Have the honor of a king. You can't have the honor of a hooligan and deserve to be titled king. You know what I'm saying?
right, watch me stump this guy right here, because he's on a reggae show, but he's not really a dancehall guy. Masicka versus Tommy Lee Sparta. Who won the clash? Who won it who won it a couple months ago? Who's gonna win it now? Who's the better artist?
Oh, Tommy Lee went to jail, right?
Oh,
For
come on.
for like what? Rigging a ballot box?
I don't. We're not informers on this show. We don't go into people's background check here. Oh, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
I like Tommy Lee Sparta because he came back to where it started. He was from Montego Bay, and the way that he was revered in that particular region. When he finished the Sumfest, closed out Dancehall Night at Sumfest, it really spoke volumes, and I was there to witness it. Masicka still is one of the top artists, but I don't think I think it's too close. Really, it's a back and forth, almost like a tennis match. Give them do like the you know how they had wrestling back in the day, Nikita Koloff versus Magnum TA. Have a best of 7 series and see who comes out on top. That's my answer to that.
All right. Teddy, you got the full screen.
So I thought, like, when it went down, I thought I'm a big fan of both artists. Let me say that. But, I thought Tommy Lee had the upper hand when it first came out. I thought he had the stronger he had the stronger like out of the gate. And then I thought Masicka came back, and I thought he took the slight lead. In the end, though, like I feel like it fizzled out and died out before like a clear cut winner. As far as those two, like the diss tracks versus diss track could come out. I think I never thought there was a clear winner, but I think when it fizzled out, I thought Masicka was slightly ahead, but Tommy Lee had the initial lead in that, and then I think that Masicka came back and creeped up. But overall, I think they're both wicked artists. I'd have to give a little bit of an edge, and I feel bad saying it because I love Tommy Lee, but overall, I think Masicka has a lot more, hits that play more in the dance hall. We still play Masicka hits from years ago, in the dance hall. We still play some Tommy Lee, but like Masicka will get prime time spots with older songs. So I think Masicka might have the overall advantage as an artist. But they're both wicked artists. And as far as the clash went, I just feel like I think Masicka might have ended up with a slight edge, but it was close the whole way through.
Let me ask you a question, because I think Tommy Lee won that battle.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean,
it was entirely close. That's why I'm saying
Hold on a second, Anil. You gotta be professional. You're like we don't even see your face. You're like you're screaming on Teddy's like Jesus. Teddy's a ventriloquist for Christ. I want to ask you this, Teddy, since I have you.
Yeah,
Masicka is always all of the songs basically sound the same, right? Mute, white, system, where Tommy Lee can give you a variety of styles, different octaves, different pitches, different rhythms, different style, slow, fast, culture. Why would you give the nod to Masicka?
I don't know, if you sit down and like some of the songs that Masicka does lyrically, I'm just like, wow, like I don't know, it just wows me a little bit more than Tommy Lee, present day Tommy. I mean, like Under Vibes, a great song. Back in those original hits he had, Uncle Demon, and those are wicked songs. But like, I just feel like overall lyrically, I just I give a nod to Masicka. But again, it's music, and it's like a personal, preference. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. It's very close. I like them both. I just personally prefer Masicka slightly over Tommy Lee.
All right, let me bring my guys in here. Before we get to the next part, the show is brought to you by Baby Sham, up close with the live band, Sunday, May 10th. Hosted by Pepper Pot at Big Night Live. Music by DJ Cypress, DJ Biggie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an early show. Please come out at 5 p.m. This is an early show. Superstar P, Keith the DJ. Wow. Early bird tickets are $30. I doubt they're still available because this show is moving. Now let's go to the next flyer here. I told you, I mean, this show's becoming like a real show here. We have 450 and Ding Dong. How do I get you guys out of here? Oh my goodness. Let me make this full screen. You guys, all right, there we go. All right. So we have 450, Ding Dong in concert performing their major hits. Music spun by Keith the DJ, Superstar P, Bojangles, Trendsetter. Big night live, May 22nd, 2026. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And we have one more flyer. We have Capleton Morpha, backed by the Prophecy Band. Saturday, June 20th. This is going to be a Rasta summer. Right? It's starting with Protege. And it's just going to ride. This is it. If you're into culture music, this is it, folks. This is
and
it.
If anyone out there has never seen Baby Sham live, you need to go to that show.
It's going to be crazy.
I brought him twice to Rhode Island. He is so wicked live. The second time I brought him, he had just a drummer, not a full band, but just a drummer. And he was playing the tracks with the drummer, and it was so wicked. So wicked.
All right, here we go. Hurricane Melissa still swimming around. How do you guys feel about what Shaggy's doing? Let's go with you, Anil.
You got to be careful with Shaggy, man. He's, of course, he's got this background with the U.S. Marine Corps and all the work he's done, but this whole thing with the Busta Mental Hospital, it kind of went sideways. So, of course, he does want to bring a lot of initiatives and outreach to the people. I commend him for his efforts, but it always comes with a grain of salt, to say the least.
Why does it come with a grain of salt?
Sometimes the money's mismanaged, especially when it comes from the diaspora. If you don't have big people at the top, like advising how things are supposed to go down, it kind of goes left, unfortunately.
No. All right, Teddy, let's go to you full screen. We have Shaggy coming to Boston soon. What do you feel? I think it's good. I think what he's doing is good.
I mean, to me, like anything helps. My wife just got back from Jamaica. She visited her childhood home, and still to this day, the childhood home has like leaks in the roof and stuff from the hurricane that they haven't been able to repair yet. Like a lot of stuff is built back, but there's still construction going on, so it's an ongoing situation. We had collected enough to send one barrel down from Island Saturdays, which they got. We sent it directly to a church, so we know it's distributed properly. I know, and what Neil's saying is probably, like in any charity, like fully can't be trusted unless the people at the top are handling their business properly. But I feel like even if a portion of it makes it in the hands of the people that need it, it's important, because they definitely, as much as because people have already forgotten about it and they don't realize that it's still, there's still a long ways to go.
Let me ask you this, since we're talking about charity. How much would you pay for a piece of Bob Marley's locks, Dr. TKO?
I would pay exactly $0. I don't need that. That's kind of morbid. I don't even know if I'd want that at my house. Like that's kind of, I don't know. That just seems morbid and almost like bad luck to me. I don't know. I don't think I would want that. No offense, because Bob's the greatest, but no, I don't know if I'd want that.
All right, Mr. Pictara. How much would you play for a Bob Marley locks?
Picatra. It stands for Pictures by Batra. I don't know. Was it sold at Sotheby's? What did it fetch at?
$25K. Would you bid for that?
30,000. Oh my God, 25,000 quid.
Quid.
British pounds. Yes.
Pound.
I wouldn't. Nah. It's definitely, what's the word? Sanitation question.
Sanitation.
Yeah. I love Bob Marley, but I'm not that much of a fan to go out and spend 25 quid on his dreadlock.
All right. Anil, you didn't get to answer Masicka
No,
or
best of
Tommy
7
Lee.
series.
Yeah, we're going back to you here. Masicka, Tommy Lee. You're not a dancehall guy. You're like a roots guy. You probably don't know who those guys are. But if you do, I'll be very
Oh,
surprised.
I know exactly who they are.
Who do
Tommy
you
Lee
pick out of two?
appeared on a Swedish children's program. And Masicka, of course, he loves his mother. Um, who do I see? I don't know. It's neck and neck, like it's back and forth. Give me a best of 7 series, and that'll decide who's the top artist.
So what you're saying is you got an all-out prize fight. You went to one man that's left standing, and then that's how you declare who the winner is. Is that what you're saying, Neil?
No, I want 7 different clashes on 7 different occasions, and that'll decide who's the best.
Oh Jesus! So you want to
In
throw
7 different venues. Maybe, hey, why not? On 7 different continents, including Antarctica.
Wow. All right, boys, I got a group question here. Let me bring you back out here. Steely and Clevie casting a shot over Bad Bunny's Super Bowl LX halftime show. They're saying that there was some copyright infringement. Who wants to go first? Raise your hand. I give you the full screen. All right, since somebody picked raise a hand, I'm going to pick someone. Go ahead, Dr. TKO.
I'm not fully familiar with the legal case, but when it comes to music, first of all, I don't think anyone can deny that reggaeton is a direct descendant of reggae music, and there's no doubt about it that some of Steely and Clevie and Sly and Robbie and all those rhythms from back then are influenced reggaeton in a major way. There's a huge population of Jamaicans in Panama. I think a lot of the reggaeton kind of originated, I think, around those islands over there. And I don't think there's any doubt or any denial that, they've taken influence from those reggae rhythms. Whether they can directly prove that they did is another story and a legal matter. My couple of law classes in college probably don't qualify me to rule on that, but I can say there's no doubt there's an influence there. Whether or not they can be successful in a lawsuit, copyright lawsuit, that's a whole different story, in my opinion, because it's tough to do when it comes to music, I think.
All right. Mr. Picatra, full screen. Go ahead.
Isn't it 7 years? So I think how ASCAP works is the fact that if the song's older than 7 years, they can sample it without really giving any precedence to the song. So from a legal standpoint, like Teddy said, reggaeton is a direct descendant from reggae music. It's just kind of sticky. I mean, Bad Bunny will probably never perform again at the Super Bowl, considering his last effort.
Why do you say that?
It wasn't really that worthy. I think the Super Bowl performance has gotten worse and worse over the years, and this is one of the worst I've seen, like, historically.
Wow. Let me bring Teddy in here. Teddy, how do you feel about that? Super Bowl appearance. Good, bad, loved it, hated it. Jamaica needs to get paid. Well, how do you feel?
So I'll be honest. I usually I watch the Super Bowl with my dad at my parents' house. Usually halftime, I go hang out with my mom upstairs. So I did not watch it as it happened. I watched it the next day, and I thought that it was entertaining. I mean, obviously I didn't know anything he said, but I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was cool. I got no problem with it. I really don't. I don't even know, honestly, personally, why the Super Bowl show is such a big deal, because, like, I love football. I'd rather just watch the football game. And I hate that it takes so long for halftime because I just want to watch football. But I didn't have any problem with it. I thought it was entertaining. And to be able to entertain me and me not understand any of the words, that's pretty cool. I mean, it is what it's something, you know, if he performs again, whatever. If he doesn't, I don't really, it wouldn't really affect me in any way whatsoever. I'd rather see him than that Kid Rock dude, though. That's for damn sure.
Let me ask you a question, Teddy.
Yeah.
Who could you understand? And I'm going to ask you the same exact question, Neil. Last year's halftime show and this year's halftime show, I couldn't understand Kendrick Lamar and I couldn't understand Bad Bunny. Both of those artists were speaking a language I could not understand. But to tell the truth, I liked Bad Bunny's performance over Kendrick Lamar. I didn't understand what Kendrick Lamar was saying. What was he saying?
Yeah, like I actually understood, even though I didn't actually understand the words, I understood the message from Bad Bunny more than I understood the message from the other guy, for sure. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, yeah, no clue.
Yeah, I was confused. I was confused listening to Kendrick Lamar's halftime.
What they need to do is Shaggy, Beenie Man, Sean Paul, and have all the big dancehall artists come through and do a halftime show. Then I'll watch it. Then I'll say, Mom, sorry, I'll come have dinner with you next week.
And maybe even Sting. Bring Sting also.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Pacatra. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't understand one word Kendrick Lamar was saying, and I couldn't understand what Bad Bunny was saying. But I like Bad Bunny over Kendrick Lamar. Like I said, the wop, 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 A minor, wop, wop, dot minor, wop, 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 dot diner. I don't know. Last year or this year, what Super Bowl show was the best for you?
I'm looking forward to 27 when we have the Super Bowl in February 27. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully, we get somebody quality, decent. Like I said, the since Prince, there really hasn't been a quality Super Bowl show.
Really?
In my book.
Since Prince, there hasn't been a quality Super Bowl show. But let me one up you. Since Michael Jackson, there hasn't been a quality Super Bowl show.
You might be on something. No, I like Prince. Well, they did have like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg at the Super Bowl.
Come on.
That was interesting. But you know, it's about proceed, man. Proceed. Let's see what's happening in 27.
All right. Since we're talking Michael Jackson and Prince, I'm gonna point this out. Teddy, we're gonna keep everybody in the same screen where we can have a violent debate and scratch each other's eyeballs out. Who's the better artist, Michael Jackson or Prince?
I mean, well, you already know I got brought up with reggae music, so I didn't really but I did listen to Michael Jackson. You know, I had a Michael Jackson record. I had Billie Jean, I think. So like I have to go Michael Jackson just because that's who, you know, that's only one of those two that I ever listened to. Because again, I was, you know, when everyone else was listening to Prince and Michael Jackson, I was listening to like Early B and Toyin and Louis Lipke and stuff.
All right, let's bring Anil. Pacatra, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Oh, hands down, it's Prince, because Prince can play all the instruments. Prince got more women. Michael Jackson, you know, he's so one-dimensional. He's only vocal. He's a vocalist and a dancer. So he's kind of like, of course he was talented. Of course he was considered the king of pop. But in my book, I still gotta go with Prince. Guitarist. He played drums. He played horns.
Wow.
He did synthesizers. He produced the record. He sang on the record. I mean, you know, Michael Jackson had to pay a producer. I mean, he had to get a band. I mean, you know.
All right, you know, I can't let it go.
I know so little about music. I didn't even know he played his own instruments. I had no clue. I just know he had Vanity, and I love Vanity.
Sheila E., Diamond and Pearl, Kim Basinger. Yo, the list goes on. Madonna. Yeah, Chris,
I don't know if
oh
any of those
man,
are hotter than Vanity though.
yeah.
Last
But
Dragon.
he had enough gal. He had enough gal, you know.
All right, let's ask this before we go back to reggae. You know, who is the most famous person ever in history? Teddy, that's you as a musician, the most famous person, and I don't think you're gonna get it right, and I don't think Pikachu's gonna get it right. Most famous artist in human history. Go.
Oh my God! In human history. I mean, we're talking like, are you talking like Beethoven and all that way back to that?
I'm talking human history. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. You're on Google. I can hear you typing.
I'm not. I'm here for the text message, but man, I just know so little about like other music. It's difficult for me. Yeah, I don't have to play. I don't have to plead the fifth on that one because I'm gonna come up with some random dancehall artist that you're gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking?"
Go ahead, say it. It's a dancehall show. Go ahead. The most famous artist ever to be placed on this earth. Go ahead. It could be a dancehall artist.
I mean, for me, if I'm looking at it in my genre, I mean, it's got to be Bob Marley. I mean, I don't know if you can think of a bigger artist in the genre that I'm interested in, that I love, than Bob Marley. I mean, I don't listen to him every day, but I mean, he's got to be way up there, you know?
All right, Anil, we're gonna bring you in on the big screen here. Anil, the most famous artist ever to touch down on this planet is who?
Famous artist. I mean, it goes. Can they be? It gotta be a musician though, right?
Any artist, singer, dancer, juggler.
I think Georgia Surratt was one of my favorite artists. But that's like visual. But as far as music goes, as far as the industry goes, as far as reggae music goes, most famous artists, it's difficult. It's very difficult. And everyone's going to say Bob Marley, obviously, because when it comes to reggae music, it's definitely Bob. Prince busted because he bust before Bob Marley.
Let me tell you something right now. The most famous human being ever in the history of humanity is Michael Jackson.
I believe that.
Michael Jackson is the last famous human being. That's it. There will be no human being more famous than Michael Jackson globally. I mean, that's not even debatable. I know you like Prince, but that's not even a debatable. I gotta. If you guys are ever on Jeopardy, this will be a Jeopardy question. Did Michael Jackson buy clothes?
No, he designed them. He had them made. He was.
Do you know Do you know that Michael Jackson didn't buy clothes?
He just got given to him?
No. So Michael Jackson had all of his clothes
made,
and he would send them out to the dry cleaners and people would steal them.
Oh no.
Wow.
So Michael Jackson couldn't get his clothes washed. So he had a t-shirt, a pair of jeans, socks, and shoes. That's why when you see Michael Jackson, you see that his shoes look destroyed because he only could wear one pair of shoes. His underwear, he would just take the underwear off and throw it away because people were just stealing his clothes. That's the level of fame that nobody has. Cheers to you with the John Crow Bati.
The Beatles was similar, and I think he bought the Beatles like catalog, didn't he?
Oh yeah, like when it comes to money,
he really upset Paul McCartney. It really upset him, my mom.
All right, I like to beat a horse. I love beating dead horses here. Popcorn just got crowned. The royal title is Popcorn, the new king of dancehall. He actually got crowned by an entity.
Well, that was in Ghana, though, right?
Right. So he got crowned by an entity, like a real monarch here. While Neil was cleaning out his nose, we go to you, Teddy.
The thing, I mean, that's awesome, and he's another wicked artist. But the weird thing is like when you talk to people from outside of Jamaica, outside of America, and you go to like Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, when you go to a different island, every different island, every different country has their artists that they worship, and then they'll have songs. They'll probably have a popcorn song in Ghana that's huge on the charts that we don't even play here, that we're just like, oh, that's not even a good song. It's just, that's how it's different. Each culture grasps the music the same way, but in a different way. You know what I mean? Like they, just like the guy that won the Grammy, Keznambi, I brought him to Rhode Island. Like 100 people came. But if he goes to like Germany, it'll probably sell like 100,000 person stadium. You don't know. So I think it's very similar. Just like back in the day, Tiger was a wicked artist in Jamaica, wicked. But when he went to Japan, it was like, people went real crazy for him. You just never know. So in Ghana, Popcorn might be like the #1 artist of any kind of genre in Ghana. We don't know. And so like, I don't know if you could take that as a crowning of anything other than he could be the king of dancehall in Ghana.
Wow. Mr. Picatra.
Picatra.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that's right. Popcorn, crowned king in Ghana. Is he the new king of dancehall?
No, unfortunately not. I mean, I rate Popcorn. His ability is amazing. He's a great artist. I don't like what they did to him here in New York. They had that pedophile out in the park.
The what?
The pedophile. The guy, you wouldn't want to bring your children around this particular artist. And he was on stage. And they cut off his mic and let the pedophile perform. So just total injustice happens here in America while he gets all this love in Ghana. All the best for Popcorn.
Who's the pedophile that you're talking about?
He was like dealing with these 13-year-old kids. He should definitely be in the same cell as P. Diddy.
Jesus Christ, let's go to commercial break.
I can't get into it graphically, but people would wear like
all right. We go commercial break. Baby Sham Sunday, May 10th, up close with the live band. Ghetto Stories. Doors open at 5 p.m. That's Sunday, May 10th. May 22nd. We have 450 and Ding Dong, Big Night Live again, hosted by Pepper Pot, Trickstar, Trendsetter, Bojangles, Superstar P, Keith the DJ. Johnny British is going to be there also. That's going to be fun. All right. All right, boys, let's open up the forum.
R. Kelly was the person I was speaking of.
Okay, well, all right, well. All right, let me put my glasses on. Boys, open forum for the last couple of minutes while we're still online. Did you guys like this format, yes or no?
I did. I thought it was, well organized, and I thought it went well.
I think it was great. I wish you had a camera.
I know. All right, now we can have a free zone. Teddy, how was the weekend?
This past Saturday was the best non-guest Island Saturdays of 2026. When I say that, we didn't have Chromatic, we didn't have Richie Feelings. I did the early juggling, and Paul Michael played most of the night, and the vibes was wicked. And it was the most people we had in 2026, and the vibes was real good. So no, it was a really good party, and very happy about that.
I missed it. I wanted to stop in and pop in. I was gonna pop in. Next week I'll pop in. Next week I can't pop. Yeah, next week I'll pop in. I got the Kentucky Derby. I got a Kentucky Derby party at the Granite Links in Quincy.
Nice.
Dude, the sunset there is going to be great. I'm going to have a little softbox, have everybody in their Kentucky Derby doing the portrait shots. It's going to be a blast.
Nice.
Yes, after that, I'll definitely see you in Rhode Island.
Yeah, and then May
You can get a
16th, we're gonna have a
Benjula.
big special guest. I can't announce it. It's 90s versus 2000, but it is a massive Grammy-winning international selector inside out inside.
Patra.
Yo,
What say you, my friend?
Protege coming Thursday.
Wicked artist.
Definitely to New York. I'm really excited about it. And then we have the Million Mushroom March. May the 2nd in here in New York, Washington Square Park.
All right. What do you guys think about the show? It was tight. We got underneath an hour.
Nice.
What do you guys think? Should we keep this format or should we just go back to the free for all? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think
It's gonna be
like
hard getting questions. It's got to be hard getting the topics. I mean, once you like, if you come up with a format and we'll just abide by it, and then I think it's a great idea. I mean, I don't. How do you feel, Ted?
yeah, I love it, man. I thought it was like well planned. I think like this format, once we get more people on it while we're talking too, I think it'll be easier for them to make comments about what we're talking about because we're sticking
Right.
to like the question at the time. So because sometimes I think you will be talking about something, and by the time someone types the comment, we're already talking about something else. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
think it worked out well.
All right.
And then anyone, I know maybe we have some New York people on there. Margarita Friday is Paul Michael's going to be playing there this Friday night with RFB DJs and Strictly Business in New York City.
Wow. Yeah. Let's I'm fully invested now. I can't get the camera working, but yeah, definitely. The show notes, you can see the notes. I don't know if you guys can see it yet, but the notes are there. So I'll post the notes. I'll go into Claude and say, give me some fucking dancehall news. It cranks out the dancehall news, and then I'll send it out to you guys. And then that way now we have a professional sounding show.
Sounds good.
All right. Love you. Thank you so much, everybody, for jumping in. Quiet night, which is good because the camera sucked. But I tell you what, we had some good clips, and that's what I want, right? We want good clips. So when we clip up this show, we get that viral tenacity.
Yep.
Hey, you guys have a good night, and guess what? Screw you, Sony, for not working.
Yo, big up, maximum respect, Bobby Shakes, Picatra. Did I say that right?